Hello, my name is Glen Coutts and I'm representing the International Society for Education Through Art. Firstly, I'd like to thank the conference organisers, your National Committee of the Art Teachers Association of Ireland. I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak with you. Although it's rather strange, me recording this here in my home, talking to a computer screen. You're probably listening to me on a computer screen. So amazing how things have changed. It's the times that we live in. But thinking about the times that we live in, I was starting to think what I would say to you about the society and about professional development for teachers in this short talk. And it set me thinking about my own experience as a teacher. So many years ago, in the first school I was appointed to, I arrived in the art department, and head of department sat me down, said, "Welcome to the department, Glen," showed me around, introduced me to the staff, and then he said, I looked at your profile and you've got a lot of experience in painting, mixed media, design, but do you know anything about ceramics or clay work? I said, well, I didn't study anything. He said, the reason I ask is there is a course taking place next week for teachers on clay work, on slab building, throwing, coil building and so on. Would you be interested to go to that? I said, yeah, I would love to do that. And so in my second week of teaching, I was given a full week off, allowed to go to this fabulous teachers resource centre, and I spent 5 wonderful days learning about clay, about firing, all things that I had no experience of, and now is one of the things that I really enjoy teaching most. But it set me to thinking how things have changed over the years, because could you imagine that happening? I can't imagine it happening now in Scotland. I don't know about Ireland, but those resources, that support for teachers is just not there anymore. At that time, there were several advisors, subject-specific advisors, one for art and design. There was also a subject-specific advisor for primary schools, which is interesting in art. There was also a specialist, they called him a staff tutor for ceramics, and another one for, I think it was printmaking. But all of that infrastructure is now gone, and it leaves us with the issue of where is the professional nourishment and revitalisation opportunities for specialist art teachers. So after a few years I started to think I really need to be able to speak to other art teachers just to talk about art, not about generic issues in school like assessment or homeschool support or assessment, whatever. And so I joined our national society, which is called the National Society for Education in Art and Design, which is a UK-based society. It's not specific to Scotland, and there aren't many members in Scotland. However, that was a great opportunity for me to be able to share ideas, to talk to people about issues that concerned the subject specialists in the classroom. And then I learned about this international society and started to think, well, what's happening in the rest of Europe? What's happening in the United States and Australia and so on? And so the National Society gave me this wonderful sense of professionalism and the opportunity to share ideas and get involved in projects. But the next level to that was the International Society, and that's really what I want to talk to you about today. InSEA was founded in 1954 and represents thousands of art teachers from all over the world. I think at the last count 74 countries are represented. Normally We meet at regional or world congresses, which are very large face-to-face events. But nowadays we are in this world of Zoom, of video conferencing and so on. I'm sure many of you are used to that and maybe have mixed feelings about it. Yeah, sometimes it's a difficult choice. What goes on in art rooms? How does it connect with the real world, with the outside world? I guess many of us have felt like this on several occasions throughout our school days. There's just so much information. You have to wonder how many students or school pupils have sat there thinking, why am I doing this? This constant emphasis on testing, on measuring, on league tables. Where is the emphasis on the real world? Hopefully your students haven't felt like this. I saw this and I have to apologise to Rennie Magritte. You'll remember from your school days in French, this says this is not a school, and it certainly isn't, and it can never be a school, but that's the situation we're living with right now. The world is changing and we have to change with it as a society and as a profession. As a society, we aim to connect our members, to get members in different countries to work together, to share good practice, to discuss possibilities and to think differently about schooling. What should our education in the 21st century really look like? And you know, maybe Mark Twain had it right. We shouldn't let schooling interfere with our education, or certainly certain types of schooling. You and I know what teachers do, but how does the rest of the world see us? Although InSEA is an international society, I've often heard it referred to as a family of art educators. This shot was taken at the last InSEA World Congress in University of British Columbia in Vancouver. People often ask me, why should I join InSEA? I'm already a member of a national society. For me, it boils down to two key areas: professional development and networking. So what do I get if I join InSEA? In terms of professional development, you can see a list on the screen. I'm not going to read it to you, but these are member benefits. Only members get these. Well, that's professional development. What about networking? So we have a range of different activities that we try to use to bring members together, and you can see a list here. Well, that sounds interesting. I hear you say, where can I join and how do I join? It's very easy and cheap to join online. Just go to InSEA.org. When I was making this, I was thinking, Zoom conferences remind me of something. What on earth is it? Well, thank you very much indeed for inviting me to speak to you today. It's been a pleasure to talk to you about InSEA, share my passion for art education, which I'm sure is also yours. And I really look forward to welcome you as a member of InSEA, either online or even better, in person, in Ireland, in Scotland, somewhere around the world. Who knows? All the best.